Warpugs, tonight we got a shenanigans request, and this was one that was asked for last night. Shenanigans last night was kind of nutty. There was a lot of things asked for, but this one in particular from Angry Cops. Now, I know about Angry Cops, I just haven't checked them out that much, but this is one thing I haven't seen before. This is the Failed Venezuelan Raid Breakdown. Now, if you're a vet, certain things really irritate you more than the average bear when you're looking at them in the nose, okay? I can tell you, from my own personal perspective, there are things that really just drive me up the wall and drive me, in no uncertain terms, insane. Now, when this happened, I didn't pay it much attention because I was worried about my blood pressure. And besides that, there were a lot of other things going on during that time that quite seriously drove me up the wall and made me want to slam my head through a car door. Oh, God. William Vasquez asked for this, and he said, I recommend you watch the video on the worst coup. It's way too funny by Angry Cops. Guys, all Angry Cops links are going to be in the description down below. I hope you guys enjoy this. I got a feeling I'm going to, because when you're wanting to talk about horrific stories from a military perspective, just ask a vet just about how stupid things were, and they will gladly tell you in detail.
Drunk with your friends and start putting together a hodgepodge, absolutely out of your mind plan is to take over your city, your town, your village, or maybe a South American country like Venezuela. Because a couple dudes with some Green Berets decided that the Keel course and a couple deployments overseas was the right amount of expertise to fly into Venezuela, abduct Maduro, and fly him back to the United States or a $15 million finder's fee. And it did not work out.
No.
As well as they had hoped.
No.
And we're going to break that down today.
Let's roll.
Silvercorp, a privately owned security company ran by Justin Goudreau, I think that's how you say his name, was supposed to link up with 300 Venezuelan military defectors who left the military once Maduro retained his power in a questionable election and were hiding out in Colombia.
Really wasn't anything questionable about it. It was a stated fact. Just...
Yeah. Once joining the previous Venezuelan military forces in Colombia, they would then train for 45 days, and after receiving military weapons and training from ex-Special Forces and Navy SEALs members, they would then infiltrate Venezuela by means of fast boats, overtake the airport, Simon Bolivar Airport, and then continue on to Maduro, where they would extract him, removing him from his security detachment, bring him back to Simon Bolivar International Airport, requesting air assistance, and then being lifted off back into Colombia or the United States. That's how it was supposed to go. We're going to talk about how it actually went down. Jordan Goudreau, originally a Canadian citizen, not holding anything against you there, bub. The owner of Silvercorp and the brainchild of this horrible debauched coup was...
Now, seriously, if you're looking for somebody to do something absolutely horrible, look no further than the Canadian. A lot of the things in the Geneva Convention exist just because the Canadians did them. And I'm not making that up.
An E6 in the United States Army Green Beret. Now, he had multiple tours overseas, but why would you pick an E6 to run a 300-man detachment to overthrow a sitting dictator, political leader, whatever you want to call? Don't you think you want somebody with like field grade experience, like a sergeant major, at least, if you're going to go enlisted men, or a first sergeant? Somebody that's done some coordinating with larger groups and elements before, or at least a fucking major or lieutenant colonel, field grade officers, guys that know how to take the big map and look it around and put dots and things and tell guys to move places.
I have been critical of officers, but I'm usually, I'm not very critical of higher ranked officers. They're the ones that have been in there and done the time and gotten their heads pulled out of their own backsides, because that happens more often than, you'd actually really understand. The most dangerous thing in the entire military is a O1, flat out. But when it boils down to it, that when they start getting higher ranked and stuff like that, most of them, a fair amount of them, know what they're talking about. There are a few bad apples, and we see those on a regular basis. Don't get me wrong, there are bad apples. But once you start getting up there, and if you have the respect of the men underneath you, that's somebody who you really want to follow. You really, really want to follow. So once you start getting up there into field officer ranks and things like that, at that point, you know, most times it's okay. I've had my share of like 04s, 05s that I would not even, and even 06s that I wouldn't even like trust to follow to an ice cream truck. But past that, I mean, I had one bad captain, I had two great captains. What are you going to do?
No, an E6 with team level experience. Red flag popping up. Red flag. Organizing a military coup is a little different than running a security detail for Taylor Swift as she exits the Hotel Marriott in Milwaukee.
It
I
is.
bet he fluffed the shit out of his resume like veterans do. I was a team leader. Led 6 men elements constituting $1.7 million of United States military funding and equipment. Send.
It is not that hard to fluff your resume when you're in the military. I mean, I could sit there and say some real hefty stuff, and I wouldn't be lying. It's just fluff.
You ran a team, dude. Don't church it up. Guy number 2, Juan Jose Rendon, a questionable politician whose accolades consist of leaving office due to rumors. Just rumors of him accepting bribe money from cartels. Oh, wow. Great guy. Oh, there's more?
Oh?
He was also accused of manipulating Mexico's election results in 2012. This is the guy in charge of financing this entire coup.
Yay!
This is bad.
It's getting better.
I can already feel the amount of integrity plummeting in the beginning stages of this coup. And finally, we have Major General Alcala of the Venezuelan military, who defected after Maduro won re-election and that shady thing that he did. Remember how I said in the beginning that Maduro had that $15 million bounty on him? If you could bring him back to the United States? Well, there was a $10 million one out for the general. And that indictment that he shared with Maduro was for the traffic of 250 metric tons of cocaine being illegally transported in the United States. Well, I don't know how you could legally transport cocaine in the United States, but they transported it there. So Stellar Guy, who by the way is now in custody in the U.S. I don't know who got the $10 million. I wonder if he did, because he turned himself in. So there's your 3 in charge. Inexperienced E6 Green Beret, who seems to be a little out of his gourd. Shady politician. Dirty general.
Yay.
This is gonna go off without a hitch.
No
Phase
kidding.
1 were the major players. Phase 2 is the training. Whew.
Yes.
Originally, 300 men were supposed to join forces with Silver Group and get trained. Well, there's an issue there.
Okay.
Because that number went from 300 to 60. And if you're not good at math, 20% of what you originally thought you were gonna get is what you got. You wanted $100? Here's a 20. Math. In any normal military operation, during the planning phases, there are certain things that you have to meet. And if you don't meet those things, the mission's just done, it's stopped, it's wiped off, you can't complete it, that's done. Don't you think you should have not done the mission when you got under 50% of the dudes you thought were going to help you? And it's so much under 50%. It's 20. It's half. It's less than half of the half that you needed. But we're going to drive through because E6 Green Beret's in charge and he's got moxie. Now,
oh my God. I didn't pay attention to this because I knew it was going to give me a headache. I didn't pay attention to this when it happened because I knew it was going to give me a headache, but good God, man.
300 to 60 is a significant drop
in
manpower. But hey, these guys are getting trained by ex-Green Berets and SEALs who would sneak up behind people, slit their throat, fucking shoot them and catch them in the water like that fucking Valor movie with the SEALs. The guy shot and I caught him in the water and lowered him down. Super secret.
Yeah.
Now the training was just as bad, if not worse, than the individuals leading this ridiculous coup. An ex-Navy SEAL who assists in a non-for-profit training individuals in combat zones regarding medical skills and how to fix one another up was there, teaching these 60 dudes and said that everybody was emaciated. Often men would skip meals throughout the day. That was the norm. And the 5 bomb-sniffing dogs they had were just as emaciated as the handlers. All the equipment they were promised didn't come to them during the training phase. The ex-SEAL stated that there were men using cut-off broomstick handles in lieu of weapons for training. We got 20% of the dudes we were supposed to have, and none of the equipment we're supposed to use. Yo, we should keep this going. We should.
No!
We can work through this. And this brings up a different question. What group is this SEAL working for? That he's in the middle of Colombia training some Venezuelans to go do a coup. And he's like, yeah, this is a good idea. This is what my non-for-profit should be about. At least he's training them for medical shit, because you know that they're going to get jacked up. Foreshadowing.
Yes.
He knew they were about to do a coup because he went and talked to Jordan and said, hey, man, look, guys, no equipment. You should probably cut this off. Don't do it. Cut it off. Cut it off right now. And Goudreau was like, no, man. I'm a Green Beret. We've got a dirty politician and a coke-dealing general. This is a great Netflix opportunity. We're going for it.
This is an amazing Netflix opportunity, okay? Like, this is right there with Inglourious Bastards. This is ridiculous.
Phase 1 was who's who. Phase 2 was training. Phase 3, execution.
Let's go.
Let's see how this bad boy's about to go down. Now, originally, they're supposed to fast boat in on some high-speed shenanigans with night vision goggles and a whole bunch of equipment, but that got shut down because, you know, drug-dealing general and dirty politician E6 Green Beret that doesn't know his ass from the hole in the ground. That stuff. Well, it went kind of bad because they were driving beat-up fisherman boats from Colombia into Venezuela to first take over the largest airport in the capital, the Simon Bolivar International Airport. I'm butchering these Spanish names. You couldn't have picked a smaller airport? There's no smaller, like, little runways you gotta do. You got 60 dudes. You've only got 60 dudes. And you've got to take over the airport, hold it, right? You got to hold it, and then you go get Maduro with his security detail all around him. So that means that dudes out of your 60 are going to be at the airport. So you're going over there with less than 60.
No one can... How? How do you screw up this badly? How do you even manage this? What were you on when you thought of this? Can somebody please tell me what these guys were inhaling that led them to think that this was a good idea anymore? You can't take an airport with 60 people.
60. And they're ready. He's already had attempts on him. Maduro's prepped and ready to go for somebody to try and take him out. So what, you're going over there with 40 dudes, max, maybe?
Max.
Do you think that's going to be enough? Because once the shots start going, all it is one phone call and one, holy shit, we're being overrun. And beep, boop, beep, you're going to have a whole shit ton of Venezuelan real military guys surrounding you, and you're done. You're toast. You're gone. No, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it? Is that what you thought? Dude?
Oh my God.
They do it in a shitty paddle boat, but they did it in broad daylight with the...
No! What? 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 Oh my God. I lost respect for them that I didn't even know I was still possessing.
Their passports and expired military IDs on them. A broad daylight beach landing with weapons. You didn't even think to do it at night where people 500 fucking meters on shore can't see you? You don't even need nods. Just dudes walking around like, pay no mind here, madam. I am going to walk this way to the airport. What makes it so laughable is the 2 Green Berets that used to be in 10th Special Forces Group. They didn't speak Spanish. How are you training.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What the hell? No way. Oh my god. Oh, this is why I don't watch the news. This is the incoming aneurysm for the reason I don't watch the news anymore, because I can't stand the stupidity of humanity anymore. Oh my god. You've got to be kidding me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Continue. This is why the A's won't talk to us.
These guys are going down there, you don't speak fucking Spanish. We gotta go 500 meters that way, there's a sniper. ¿Qué pasa? No comprende, gringo? I speak Spanish. Huh? I speak Spanish. You got caught in the water before you even got to hit the beach and start walking towards the gosh dang airport. Venezuelan military was like, hey, we knew you idiots were doing this shit. Now you might say, well, how did they know? Dope deal in general, being the genius that he is, couldn't keep his mouth shut and was telling Colombian intel analysts, hey, we're gonna do this coup. I hope you're ready for it. It's gonna happen sometime, probably in May. Being next door neighbors to one another, and there's probably some pro-Maduro people in Colombia. They went over and spilled the beans to the head of intel in Venezuela, who stated, we knew everything. In fact, we, the Venezuelan government under Maduro, with this intel guy, paid for some of the meetups. That's how intertwined Maduro's intel analysts were in this entire coup. In fact, it was so bad, an Associated Press article was put out before the coup detailing what was going to happen during this coup. I think you got a couple leaks there, but another.
I have Warpost, I have listened to many tales, many stories of incredible stupidity. I have absorbed legendary levels of derp in my life, but this might be the single most absolutely moronic bullshit I've ever heard in my entire life. I can't even laugh at it. It should be funny, but I can't laugh at it because my God, man, what?
Another small giveaway to this coup was Mr. Dirty Politician got pulled over and in his car was like 60, 70 rifles and body armor. And the freaking Venezuelan coppers are like, hey, you're anti-Maduro and you've got all the shit in your car. We're going to take it and we're going to tell people about you. You don't have enough fingers to plug the holes of all the leaks in this shitty ship coup that you're trying to motorboat into Venezuela, guy. And the rest is history. Now Maduro's been saying that young fishermen helped catch these bad guys and then they called the police, and that's what kicked it all off, because the people of Venezuela are pro-Maduro, which is a bold-faced lie and obviously some pandering in order to get people in Venezuela to think that there's some huge groundswell that still supports Maduro, when in actuality, his intel director and other people in that government stated that, no, we already had infiltrators, we already knew what was going on, we were paying for half of the meetings that they were going to, and we let it all happen and got them before their feet even touched the ground. Other people are saying that this was orchestrated or funded by the United States government. And let me tell you,
I have no faith in the government. I have none whatsoever, okay? But they are incapable of... They're just not capable of screwing things up this bad. Not militarily, okay? They're not capable of screwing up this bad militarily. It's just not happening.
Tell you what. The United States government ain't throwing 60 dudes in some old fishing boats with no night vision goggles and some ill-fitting, dirty t-shirts to go take out Maduro and bring him back to the United States. You had to go by water, didn't you? Had to use those shitty little paddle boats in order to get up onto the shore of Venezuela. You couldn't just go hacking through the brush and dense vegetation in the jungles of Venezuela, much like the Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0 does.
That was a brutal segue, okay? I'm done. I can't believe this.
To the jungle between your legs. If you need to tame the jungle of your boxer brief area, the Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0 is your doodad to do it. And Manscaped offers tons of fantastic products. Ball cleansers, moisturizers, all sorts of things to make that jungle a little less fungal. Clean up that love jungle, baby! Beat back those brambles and bushes and let that Valentine vine shine. After your lady sees your mowed down cabbage patch, the only thing she's gonna want to overthrow is her legs over your head. So go ahead and use code ANGRY20 to get 20% off your order at manscaped.com today.
This is the face of a man.
How did every single one of the people that they captured and put on camera looked absolutely disgusting? Not one of them had a uniform on. It was just dirty white tees and flip-flops. That's how we're going to overtake Maduro? They looked like everybody's fat, greasy uncle at a barbecue.
Oh my God. I have traumatized myself by watching this. There's just no way. I am so distraught over what I just witnessed. I knew it was bad. I had no idea that this was... Warpugs, seriously, what in the hell? What were they drinking? What were they smoking? What were they injecting? Because there's no excuse for this kind of stupidity. So you're going to go in, 20% of the force, in broad daylight, over water, land on a beach, with all the leaks that happened. I'm done. Warpugs, I'm just done. My God, this was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. This was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And for people to sit there and say that the U.S. government was responsible, we don't screw up militarily that bad. Like, not that bad. Not that horrifically bad. I mean, maybe half, but not all the way. Damn. All of Anger Cup's links are going to be in the description down below. I recommend you check them out. I'm going to go cry into a pillow because I felt parts of my brain dying out when I was listening to that. All my links are going to be in the description down below. Like, comment, subscribe. I am gone. This was too much.